I'm from Sapporo. Today I'm going to be leaving to go to Hakodate, and it's so early I was able to catch sunrise. I'm going to be taking the subway to Sapporo Station one last time, and this time I'm hoping that I got there before rush hour, because if it was a crowded train, there's no way I'm going to be able to fit.
Soon enough I made it to Nakajima-Koen Station, and unfortunately I missed the train by a few seconds. Luckily it wasn't too crowded, which I was really happy about, but the next train came in a couple of minutes. I was definitely sad to leave Sapporo, but little did I know what wonders awaited me for the rest of my trip. I was lucky when I arrived at Sapporo Station because I got there 5 minutes before rush hour, and look at how empty it was. And then 5 minutes later, the same exact area was full of people, and 5 minutes after that, the amount of people doubled. Then I stopped by the small stand for an ekiben, which is a bento eaten on the train. I decided to go for the Genghis Khan grilled lamb one. Unfortunately, this time the green car was full, but the regular car seat still had a decent amount of room, and I ended up being fairly comfortable in it. I made it to my seat now, and I'll show you the bento when we're farther in on a train journey. Time to try our ekiben now, and the rule of thumb with these is you can eat them on a train if other people are, and if there's like a tray table next to your seat, and there is a tray table right in front of me, so that means it's okay to eat. And I'm really looking forward to it because I see a lot of other people starting to take out their food now. The aroma from this already smells great. I smell all of the grilled vegetables as well as the grilled lamb. This smells meaty and delicious. Let's start off with all these grilled vegetables in here. All the grilled vegetables are nice and fresh and tasty, and they definitely are a bit on the salty side, because what I've heard is they add extra salt to these train bentos to make them a little bit more shelf stable. Now for the star of the show, the lamb. The lamb is delicious, so much juicier and tender than I expected. I really love all the flavor of the seasoning, and it's so much fresher than the lamb you even get in the US. There's a very mild gamey flavor, but it's just so slight, which I'm really impressed with. I don't know how they keep the lamb so fresh, especially for a train bento, but so far this is really delicious. I just finished on my bento and that was great. There's really nothing like having an ekiben while watching the Japanese countryside go by. It's definitely something you should try if you're in Japan. I finally made it here to Hakodate. Right behind me you can see the train that took me here, and now I'm gonna go see if I can find that jacket that I left on the train a couple of days ago, lost and found. I just picked up my jacket here at the fare adjustment office, and I loved the process because it was really quick, and they even made an effort to fold up my jacket here. Now I'm gonna be heading to my hotel to see if we can check in a little bit early. Here's the giant hotel building we're staying at. This is the Hotel Tokyo Stay. I just dropped my bags off at the hotel since it was too early to check in, and now we're gonna head to Mount Hakodate, which is gonna give us scenic views of the city. I finally made it to the top of Mount Hakodate, and it's moments like these where I really like to take in a view and just enjoy the moment.
Looking out the city, it really makes you realize how big the surrounding area is. I really enjoyed my time here, but now let's head back to the hotel to check in. As I exited, I found a really weird vending machine. This one sells underwear with a nighttime view from Mount Hakodate. And it looks like there's some other interesting items in here as well. Another very odd vending machine, onigiri, which is not super odd, but then you have mixed bugs, crickets, and all sorts of other things that are all edible. And then you have some curry sauce, and then, right on the very bottom, if you zoom in right here, there's even cat food. I made it back to the hotel now, so let's check into our room. Here's our room, so let's take a look inside. Right when you walk through the doorway, right here you have 2 beds, and then you have another bed next to the window, as well as a decent sized TV. This is probably the largest TV I've had in any of my hotels so far. Right over here we have a sink, as well as some sort of electric kettle, it looks like right here, and then we have another microwave. Right here is the laundry room. As you can see, we have a washing machine, which I'm really happy about. I'm not sure if it doubles as a dryer. And then right over here, we have the sink area. This is a really large sink area, so I'm super happy about that. Plenty of room to put all your stuff. Cups over there, as well as all of your towels, which I think is pretty good. They certainly give you enough towels. Right here is the shower room. It looks like right here you have a shower, and then again, a bath right next to it. In the entryway, right next to the front door, you have a bathroom right here. And it's literally just a toilet. Right here you have the toilet, another fancy Japanese toilet. And actually, it looks like the exact same toilet as the one in my hotel in Sapporo. And then you have a really tiny sink right here that I probably won't be using. And finally, let's take a look at the view. I can already see part of it through the shade. And right here, it looks like you have a lovely view of the train station, as well as the morning market right below, which I want to check out bright and early tomorrow morning. And then off to the left, if you look out, you have a wonderful view of the docks. I love this hotel room already. It's plenty big enough. I love that there's a washer in here because I need to do laundry tonight. And also, the view out of here is incredible. I'm glad I'm back to having a hotel with a great view, not like the boring view I had in Sapporo. I really do wish I could stay at this hotel a little bit longer, but this is basically just a stopover for me, because tomorrow I'm going to be heading back to Tokyo. But now, I'm looking forward to dinner, because I spotted a great seafood restaurant right outside the hotel, about a block away, so let's go. Dinner is so convenient. I just walked out of the hotel, and dinner is literally around the corner. We're just going to make a quick right turn at this corner. And then this place up ahead with the blue sign is where I'm gonna be heading for dinner, right here. Look at all this delicious seafood waiting fresh in the tanks, ready to be eaten. I haven't ordered yet, but I already love this restaurant. I love the atmosphere because the inside is filled with more fish tanks where you can see all the fresh fish and seafood. And then they also gave us a private room. There's only 3 people in my group, but the private room is for 6 people. So I'm really impressed with their service. It's another one of those traditional restaurants where you have to take off your shoes before sitting down. So I really appreciate that.
Then I went over to their tanks to select a crab. They had many king crabs, but I decided to go for snow crab instead. That was probably the best decision I ever could have made because it was so delicious, as you'll soon find out. I also had to point out this fish I saw on the menu. This has gotta be the most curiously named fish I've ever seen. Just look at it.
I finally decided what I want to order for dinner. I walked over to the tank and I picked out a large snow crab. And I've heard the snow crab is really delicious in Hokkaido. However, it isn't cheap. It's about $70 for a whole snow crab, and I got the large one, so it's definitely a bit more on the pricey side. So maybe if you just want to try it, get the smaller one, but I wanted to make a whole meal out of it because I love crab, and you know, this is something you really can't get anywhere else that's going to be this fresh. I also decided to order grilled squid as an appetizer because they have live squid here, and it's really small, so I think I can eat that as well, so it's going to be really fresh. We have so much delicious food awaiting us, but I'm going to start off with their vegetable salad, and I love the wide variety of vegetables in here. I love the nutty flavor of the sesame dressing, and that's probably my favorite part. And all the vegetables are so juicy, especially because there's a lot of iceberg lettuce in there. It's a great dish. All the food pretty much came out all out at once, but I really want to start off with the grilled squid. It was literally steaming when they brought it out, and it smells delicious. It has this rich, smoky scent to it, and it also smells like there's some sort of teriyaki sauce. And just a few minutes ago, it was still alive, so I'm just gonna get a ring of the squid to try. That squid is so fresh and tender. It's so mild, no fishy flavor at all. Very, very sweet. And I love the texture. It's so tender. It's just as tender as the raw squid I've had for sashimi in the past, which I'm really impressed with because I thought the grill might make it a little bit tough, but no, it's just really soft and tender. And I think that's because it was just alive. And I love how it tastes on the grill because that sweet, sticky teriyaki sauce really gets caramelized and charred, and it just absorbs all that smoky charcoal flavor. This is a really great item to try, and it's also a lot bigger than I thought it would be as well. My parents also ordered this giant charcoal grilled mackerel, and they decided that I could have a taste of it, and I'm really surprised by this because I thought it was just going to be a regular sized mackerel, but no, this thing is huge. It's a whole mackerel filleted in half, and I've never seen a mackerel of this size before in my life. It must be those special Hokkaido waters. Oh, this fish looks beautiful. It's still steaming hot. Let's give this a taste. I'm interested to see if this giant mackerel is going to taste any different from the other smaller pieces of mackerel I've had on this trip. This is a really interesting mackerel. It is so juicy and sweet, and it almost tastes like a cross between a mackerel and a cod, and it's also the least oily mackerel I've ever had. Mackerel is usually a bit on the oily side because there's a lot of fat in it, but this one doesn't taste like it, so it definitely has a much milder, less greasy, and less fishy flavor to it. So I really love it, and the texture is also really nice because I love the crispiness. I'm still in awe of the size of this. This thing is just gigantic. Now for the star of the show, the item I'm most excited about, our whole snow crab right here. It just looks beautiful. They even broke it up into pieces for us. They separated the body from the legs as well as the claw, and this just looks fantastic. It definitely has a deep briny scent to it. I'm just gonna start off with the leg, and this grilled snow crab just looks beautiful. They even made the effort to crack it, which I really appreciate. It makes it so much easier to eat. In fact, I think I'm gonna be able to use my chopsticks just to pull out a delicate piece of the snow crab. Look at this, we just got a really nice bite of beautiful meat. It looks so pure. Let's give this a taste. I'm just in disbelief. This is the sweetest crab I've ever eaten. It's even sweeter than the king crab I had in Sapporo. It almost tastes like I'm eating crab candy. It just tastes like it's at its peak freshness just because it was just harvested. It almost tastes like the crab is in season, and I'm not sure if it is, but it's so sweet and juicy, and there's no brininess to it at all. I think that briny scent is just coming from the head. It's just really sweet and clean. Definitely the best crab I've ever tasted. Let's see if this body meat tastes any different. You know, considering how sweet and delicious this crab is, I really can't tell a difference in the sweetness. However, this definitely does have a bit more of that charcoal grilled flavor, so I think I like it a little bit more than the legs. But now, let's go for the perfect claw. There's only one claw with this crab, unfortunately, because I was missing the other claw, but I was able to get it for a little bit cheaper. Because this crab is already so sweet, I really wasn't able to tell a difference with the body and the leg, but the body has a bit of more of that smoky charcoal grill flavor because I think it's just closer to coals, and because it's a little bit thinner, that flavor just really penetrates the shell well. Now let's go for the most prized part of the snow crab, or most crabs in general, the claw. Now you know, the claw just has even more flavor, and the claw is easily the best part of this crab. It's even more flavorful than the body and legs, and it's just like a punch of sweet, crabby flavor. This is what I live for. This is what you need to go to Hokkaido for. You know, if you're gonna order one thing at this restaurant, I know it might be a little bit pricey, so maybe just get the small one, but you have to try the snow crab. It's just a must. I just finished up an incredible once-in-a-lifetime seafood feast. This was definitely my favorite meal of the trip. I know I had so much delicious food here in Japan, but so far, and I think for the rest of the trip, this is going to be the best meal I ever eat here. It's always been on my bucket list to visit Hokkaido, and today was my last full day here in Hokkaido, and I'm really glad that I was able to top it off with the best meal of this trip, because I mean, the seafood here is just unlike anything else that I've ever tasted before, and it's really something you all have to try for yourselves if you're in Japan. Definitely make the trip to Hokkaido. It is so worth it. I don't know when I'm going to be able to visit Hokkaido again, but when I do, I'm really going to try my best to head to Hakodate just to eat at this restaurant, because it was seriously that memorable, and this is going to be something I never forget for the rest of my life. I'm back at the room, and this was an amazing last full day in Hokkaido. I know it was a lot of travel, taking the train all the way down from Sapporo to Hakodate, as it was a 4-hour journey, but it was so worth it in the end. I really enjoyed my ekiben that I had on a train. It was a lot better than I thought it would be. That Genghis Khan lamb, it was something else. Definitely something to try when you're in Japan. And it was a nice, fun little short trip to go to the top of Mount Hakodate as well. I always love seeing scenic views of the city. But above all, that dinner was incredible. Definitely one of the best meals on my channel. I know it's hard to pick, but I would say it's definitely in the top 3 of the best meals I've ever eaten on the channel, best food I've ever tasted, because that was some of the freshest seafood you'll ever taste. Like yesterday, I had some of the best sushi. This was some of the best cooked seafood. Like, it was just so fresh. That mackerel wasn't greasy at all, was very light, and just tastes like nothing you would ever have in the United States. The grilled squid was also really interesting. I've never had lime squid before, so that was also really fresh and just cooked perfectly. But the thing that really stands out is that snow crab. I know you can get snow crab at a Vegas buffet, but it's not the same. It's been frozen for who knows how long. This time, it was fresh, out of a tank, and just tasted ultra sweet. You know, there's something really special about these Hokkaido waters that makes their seafood taste so much better. The other thing I didn't really mention about this restaurant was the price. Considering that it was fresh seafood and that you got a really large portion, especially that crab, which was really large considering how nice it was and the fact that it was even cracked for you. I spent around $150 for all that food, and that was enough to feed 3 people comfortably. And just to keep in mind, when I had Wagyu and Kobe, that was about $120 a person. Just considering everything, considering the quality of seafood, considering the friendly service there, it is really a place you need to check out. You know, I think if you're anywhere in Hokkaido, you really have to go to Hakodate just to eat at that restaurant. Considering that for me, Hakodate is just a stopover on my trip down back to Tokyo, I know it's really sad because I would love to spend more time here, but I'm so glad I did, because with this short stopover for just about 24 hours, that gave me a chance to eat one of the best meals that I've ever had in Japan. Anyways, I really hope you all enjoyed today's video. Make sure if you did, give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.